I don't know how long this goes for. What's up, guys? Today is Tuesday, August 13th, coming at you live. Couple things to shout out real quick while I got it up and about it. Thursday, August 15th, that is this Thursday. We're going to be in our office right here in Valley View Lane. We're talking underwriting, everything underwriting, right? Lender underwriting, title underwriting, how to analyze a deal. Come on out, it's a free event. I'm going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, JAG Digital Services, Easy Street Capital. If you need a hard money lender, reach out to Kelly Smith. She is amazing, all right? Mutual Title. If you have any type of deal that you need help closing, reach out to Mutual Title, specifically Teresa Myers. Her team is absolutely fabulous. If you need interior decorating or staging, particularly, we're going to have Danny on soon. She is with Elevated Interiors. We've met with her before. We've used their services before. They are fabulous. If you need something to sell, if it's sitting on the market for a little while, maybe staging it is going to get you more for your money, and it's going to actually list your property and actually get it out the door faster. So definitely reach out to her. McCall Property Management, if you're in North Texas or anywhere in Texas, I'm pretty sure. If you need property management, reach out to McCall Property Management. BK Real Estate, the best in the business all throughout Texas, actually going through multiple different states. So reach out to her. Brittany Kosif, killing it. Her team is actually crushing it. And then Capricorn Mortgage. If you are a note seller, note buyer, if you have anything to do with notes, reach out to Capricorn. They are actively buying notes, creative finance deals, all of that. Reach out to them. Best in business. So, what sparked? Sorry, just setting up my feed now. What is that? No, it's just on the TV. It's fine. What sparked today's conversation was Lewis dropped a comment in Discord, and he was asking, how do you set yourself up to be as an end buyer, right? How do you present yourself? Do you set it up with FOMO? Are you trying to create urgency by asking certain questions? So that was kind of like the initial spark that went off. As always, if anybody has any questions pertaining to today's topic, drop them in the comments and we'll definitely go over it, okay? Raheem, what up, man? I hope to see you out here Thursday night, Raheem. So you last month, come on out this month. This month is underwriting. We're going to be going over deals specifically. So maybe we'll actually, if you have deals, we'll break them out and we'll actually pencil them up on the board. So it's always a good event. Getting into it, I wanted to go over every step of, all right, first off, whatever you're talking to, right, whether it's a cold call or a warm lead, every step of the way, you have to break it down. You have to slow down. We talked about this all last week, all right? Slowing down to increase your success. You're not trying to lock it up on that first call. I don't care who you are. You're not going to get it done more chances than not, and you're going to lead to your failure. You're going to have more drop contracts, all around, all right? So slow down, all right? First step is to qualify. That's the same if it's a warm lead or a cold call, all right? If it's on a cold call, it's going to be a lot faster. Are you the owner of 123 Main Street? Are you interested in selling your house? Click. Go on to the next one, right? And you're just going to try to filter out those cold leads and turn them into warm leads, okay? So your first contact, even with these warm leads, all right? So what we're talking about is in the Discord, we're constantly giving out warm leads, networking and all that, right? So these warm leads now, you're talking directly to sellers. You have to take a step back and you have to qualify it, all right? One, are they somebody that is in charge of the property? Are they one that actually is in control? All right. What do they want for the property, and how much do they think it's worth? Right. So, or vice versa. Skip and reverse it. What do they think the property is worth, and what do they want to get out of it? Okay. Qualify questions. All right. It's not questions about the property. It's not, all right, what's the square footage? It's not drilling Mr. Seller in their time of need with all of these barrages of questions, right? What's the square footage? What's the bed bath count? All of this information you can most readily find. Am I holding myself here as I say it because I know a lot of properties don't have it? But usually on CAD, on county websites, you can find the details of the property, unless it's something really in the boonies or obscene, which is fine. You're setting yourself up as the professional, okay? You can always reach back out to them and say, hey, listen, I see Mr. Seller, we spoke yesterday or we spoke earlier. I can't find details of this property. Do you mind just tell me how many square feet it is? What's the bed? Like, if that is what's stopping you from the deal, you really need to slow down then. That first initial touch, if possible, should be 30 minutes, should be 40 minutes. Hell, we do them live on the Friday calls, and sometimes Maria, who is going to be in tomorrow, who we're going to sit down with, she actually was like, man, sorry, I know that went a little long. And I'm like, no, not at all. That was to the point. It was awesome. I think that call was like 30 minutes, but still, you're supposed to drag them out. You're supposed to build up trust, okay? So that first initial call is all about warming them up, all right? Letting them know who you are, acknowledging the fact that there is a problem and you're here to help it. You're professional throughout the entire time. What does that mean? It means you're going to lay out the entire groundwork for the entire transaction, okay? We don't have to buy your house. Yes, we are an end buyer, right? We actively buy homes in all different states and all different conditions. Some we sell, some we keep as rentals, some we do creative deals. Every deal is different. We come at a deal first approach. Okay, and you literally explain this to the seller in a sense. Okay, you don't hide things from them. Now, I'm not saying you tell them intricate details of like, oh, I do all these creative finance deals and I'm a master of sub 2, and no, not at all. You save all of that for later, okay? This isn't a marketing call or anything like that. You're not trying to get salesy with them. You are literally trying to understand the problem. Ask them what the details are that need to help them sell, right? Why they need to sell. What their timeline is, all right? These are all questions that you're gathering and you're trying to understand. The second part, after you qualify it, is to set a follow-up or an inspection, all right? Your goal is to set up an inspection, but that's not always possible. I completely understand that. Okay, your goal is to get belly to belly with these people. If it's not possible, I totally understand that. But still, you're going to step back. You're going to have a pausing minute. You're going to have a pausing moment. All right, you're going to set a follow-up call. You're going to set some form of retaining, like, hey, we're gonna pause right now, and I'm going to go do some research. This is where you try to gather information. Okay, this is where you collect more data. All right. At the end of this call, that first call, you should be having them send you photos, updated photos. All right. If it's listed, that's different. But no, you should be getting updated photos. And a lot of times, this is the breaking point, because they don't want to send them. And a lot of times, they're embarrassed by the property's condition. And this is where you stepping up to be the professional comes in. All right. I totally understand. I've seen everything. Trust me, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. I've seen everything. I'm just looking at the bones of it. I just need to see what the current conditions is. It doesn't matter about the mess. I see right through that. But again, I just need updated photos so I can accurately assess it. Okay? All those clowns that say they want a wholesale without a repair budget, Let them. They're clowns. They're in a different market, and they're going to get swallowed up whole real quickly, guys. So, what does that mean? That means actually waiting until you know what the actual interior is, all right? Yes, you can get a sense of it. You can do price per square foot. You can do all these things to hedge it, but you're not there yet. You're not at step 7, right? You're at step 2. Slow the game down a little bit. Again, this is where you're going to try to set an appointment to walk the property, if possible. I cannot stress that enough, all right? While, trying to think of my time here, time frame. While you're collecting the data, right, or you've seen photos of it, you've seen the interior, you've gotten somebody maybe to FaceTime you and walk you through the property, that'll work, right? There are services out there that do inspections for you. They'll come through and walk them if need be, okay? But always try to get some interior photos of the place, all right? Or walk it if possible yourself. After you do this, after you walked it, after you've seen the interior of it, then you comp it, okay? I don't want you spending all this time up front comping properties and analyzing them. That's a double-edged sword that I just said, because I'm also going to tell you to comp every property you can. So there's two sides there, all right? When you're first starting out and you're first getting into real estate, all right, if you're first time getting into wholesaling, investing, those people out there, I completely understand. I want you to comp every property, all right? I want you to get into the habit of comping every deal, analyzing, understanding numbers, okay? Finding what a good deal is and just being able to see it, okay? You need to get eyes for that. Once you're up and running, okay, there's a difference now. Now you're going to be doing a lot more offers, right? You're going to be doing a lot more things. So you can't sit there and analyze every deal as necessary, okay? So double-edged sword of what I just said. But I want you to try to hold out till step 3 on comping, all right? So after you get interior photos, after you get a sense of what the property is actually currently worth, what price is going to be needed to increase this. Also, during all these steps, you have different questions that you ask them also, right? When you're talking about the comping, ask the seller, all right, Mr. Seller, in your words, what do you think the value is, and how much is it going to take to get to that value, right? Ask them directly. Use their own information against them, right? A lot of times they'll give you solid information, right? They'll tell you that they found the value from Zillow or tax data, which is fine. It just gives you some ammunition to go back to them and use, right? Like, again, I understand that's where you got your information. That information is wrong, and here's why. And then you present that as the professional. Your property isn't worth as much because XYZ down the street didn't sell for nearly as much, right? Your property is less square footage than this one, and it needs a lot more work. How is it worth that much, right? So you come from a position of power, right? A position of authority, okay? You always have your credibility package there. And what is a credibility package? You don't actually need a credibility package. Credibility package is just a PDF, right, that you're going to give to somebody that's going to say, hey, this is my XYZ. It's your business card in a sense, right? But when you talk with authority, you're constantly delivering that, right, that credibility package, okay? So that is just part of your presentation, right? You're always going to present from a place of authority, all right? You're always going to lead with, I don't need to buy your house. I would like to help you, right? And if I can, I will. I absolutely will. I want to get you the much you can, Mr. Seller. How much do you think the property is worth? $350. Oh, that's awesome. I absolutely hope I can get you that. If at the end of this, if we can't come to terms, I completely understand. We'll go on our ways. But again, you get them in a sense of they need to sell you their house. okay? And this is the same in any type of sales, all right? Whether you're doing loans or if you're selling cars, people need to want to buy from you, okay? They're entrusting with you, all right? Why would you go with one lender over the other? It's because you like that one lender. That something about them made you feel safe. It wasn't just the rate. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's not about the money. It comes down to what they're treating you with, the authority that they presented you with, the personality that they presented you with. Everything about it was sales. And then you turned around and said, hey, take my business, please. And it's the same thing with sellers, okay? You're trying to find out their problems, and each step of the way, peel back the onion, ask proper questions, and answer them, all right? The next step after comping and analyzing it is just follow-up, all right? You're going to inspect, follow-up until you get those photos, right? This is an asterisk if you still haven't gotten those photos, right? Still peg them until you, God, I just said peg them. Inspect and follow up, keep on following up until you get the information you need, all right? That's what I'm trying to highlight here, all right? I did another round of follow-up. This process can take a week. It comes down to the seller and the seller's timeline, okay? Your sellers have to be more hungrier than you. Let me just start out there. At no point should you rush your sellers and make them feel like they're being rushed, right? You're there to help them, so you're trying to move them along and honestly follow the hell up on them and nudge them, but it's always from a place of helping. It's always from a place of want, not need, right? I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. Drop it in the comments and let me know. I'm doing a great job of rambling today. Now, after you have all of your data, this is where the offer comes in, okay? When you present the offer, this entire time you've led them, you've taken them on this journey, right? You've explained what the whole process is, who you are, how you buy and sell real estate. Not every deal is a flip for you, right? Some have, some you have your own personal buyers that you sell to. There's a bunch of different things and different ways to get this deal done, right? By the time you get to the offer, okay, now is when you get to go back and answer Lewis's question of, you know, are you presenting yourself as the actual end buyer or not? Now is when you get to negotiate with the seller and tell them whether or not they get to sell you their house directly to you or to your network, right? Or if the deal doesn't make sense for either of those things, right? Maybe it's not a cash deal, meaning it doesn't make good for us to flip. Maybe it doesn't make sense for anybody to assign, meaning it's not a good wholesale deal. Maybe they owe too much, right? So now you're coming into a creative financing, right? Maybe they can sub to it or anything. The point of the story is you go and set yourself up as the professional and you walk them through the offers. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I would love to make you this offer of a cash offer and buy your house, but unfortunately, because of XYZ, because of the state of repairs or because of whatever that deal takes shape as, whatever that problem is, I don't know that one, right? But every deal is different, and this is why we always come at it from a deal-first approach, okay? But whatever that angle is, you're then going to step it back. Hey, if my cash offer can solve this property, oh man, I'm going to take a swing at it. Why? Because my cash offer is like 30% on the dollar, all right? 30 cents on the dollar. I love how I just mixed those two. It's like 30 cents on the dollar versus if I got to sub to something where I know I have no equity in it probably already and I'm probably barely cash flowing. Sub to is great and all, but not in a changing market, not when taxes are going through the roof. Insurance is going through the roof. People are barely cash flowing. So if you only zoom in, right? If you walk around with a hammer, everything's a nail, right? Or some shit like that. If you're only zooming in with one thing in mind, you're going to miss out on everything, okay? And this is part of slowing down, okay? You have to take steps throughout every transition. Mind you, your processes, your systems, everything during this should have it ironed out, all right? So all these leads, where are they in the process? Am I in the follow-up? Am I waiting for additional information? Am I in the post follow-up? Am I collecting data? Did I make my offer yet? Am I waiting for the offer to be accepted? Am I in renegotiations, right? Is it a lead? Is it an opportunity? Where is it, all right? So all of these things matter. You have to be tracking them. That's not to say you have to go out and get a big old CRM, okay? If you need a CRM, RESimpli is my favorite. It's in the comments, but you don't have to be paying high dollar for a CRM when you're first starting out. Use Excel. Use a white notebook. I go over this all the time, people. Use what is readily available. Don't make excuses to stop you from doing the work, all right? Now you've made the offer, right? You've made it from a place of authority. Now you just sit back and you wait, okay? When you make that offer, when you first negotiate numbers, none of this, right? Step 1 through 5, have you presented an offer, some value of what the house is worth, all right? Not once have you said, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I think the house is worth $350. Nothing like that. You ask them for their information, and you're gathering it, and you're not going to try to argue with them yet. There's no point in it, right? You don't have all the data. Gather it all. Now, step 5, right? This can be the same day. People are out there going to try to ridicule me all they want. This can be the same day. This can be within 30 minutes. However you want to, if you're able to do all these steps on one phone call, awesome. But you shouldn't be trying to. That's my point. Slow down. Nobody else is going to come in and swoop up your deal. If they did, they overpaid because they didn't take the time to build up the rapport with the seller and actually find out what the problems are and how to actually solve them and actually help that seller, okay? There's reasons why people go with us and tell us that they had higher offers of $50,000, $60,000, and they still take our offer and they're thankful of it, okay? We're not cheating people out of houses or anything. We're solving problems, okay? Once you understand that, you're going to be so much more successful, okay? If you're first starting out and you're worried about nomenclature, okay? If you're worried about saying I'm going to be a cash buyer on this property, I totally understand that. When you're getting that thing under contract and you have all, let me pause for a second. When you get that thing under contract, right, and you have all intentions of wholesaling it, that seller should understand that, okay? They should be aware that, hey, this property isn't going to fit my buy box, but I can still get this deal done. I can still solve your problems, okay? I can still make this a win-win solution for both of us. I'm going to go to my own VIP buyer list. I'm going to get, XYZ in here, and they're going to solve problems. I have, whatever the situation is, okay? But that seller is aware of it. That seller understands your intentions, okay? What are your intentions with my daughter? I hate that word. But it's the truth, okay? So many times sellers are getting misrepresented, right? Misunderstanding what the actual transaction is going on. We talked to last week we talked to a sub-2 woman that was selling her property. She signed a marketing agreement with some asshole, and he was just out there trying to blast it out and trying to get it. And she's up for foreclosure, right? Like, this little kid isn't going to solve this woman's problems. And this woman had no idea that once she signed that, I can't come in and help her now, right? Like, because there's somebody before me. So it's really easy to deceive people out there. You shouldn't be, okay? You should be helping people. That's how you be successful. One of the other questions was about, driving up FOMO by, we are looking to buy more properties in the neighborhood. That is honestly just a door opener. Anything to open up the conversation. And that can be if you're doing driving for dollars, right? If you're door knocking, those are all ways to open up the conversation in the beginning, right? Hey D, I see you in the comments. D, you're always driving. I love it. School went back today. Whew. I'm so happy, D, that school is back in session. What was I talking about, Tommy? Oh, openings, right? So getting into cold calling, right? Openings, that's a perfect opening, right? Where I'm just looking in the neighborhood, I was buying properties such as yours. Are you interested in selling? Anything like that. Again, when you're getting back to the step one of qualifying, cold calling is totally different than warm leads, all right? You have to generate them. You have to warm them up. You have to introduce the idea of selling to them, okay? That's not going to happen on the first call, probably, most likely. I can guarantee it, okay? It's more inclined to build a list of warm leads, okay? So we talked about it a couple weeks ago. You're going to get your list of 100, list of 100 go through every day, whittle it down to maybe 5 to 10 warm leads out of that 100 conversations you had, hopefully. Pray to God you had a 5 to 10. And then build those 5s to 10s over 3 weeks, and now you have 100 warm leads, okay? There are ways to do this without spending money, and that is one of the ways, right? How do you do that? You're spending time and energy on yourself. Or you spend money toward marketing and you just work directly with warm leads, all right? So there's two different ways. On the cold calling side, it is all about generating warm leads, and you're doing that until you have some form of cash flow, until you get a deal or two underneath your belt. Once you're understanding how to solve problems, then you're going to go and trickle into marketing, all right? You're going to spend a little on PPL. You're going to go spend money at LeadZolo, and they're going to send you warm leads of people that actually need to sell. Now, your qualifying question, your qualifying timeline is a lot shorter. Obviously, you know they need to sell. You know they want to sell. Now it comes down to timeline, why, the pain points, right? So it's a lot quicker and a lot easier. Try to gain my breath for a second. I hope if this is making sense, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Smash the like button. All that fun stuff. When it comes down to offers, I think Tony talked about it on Monday. I have a feeling he did because he got into the different contracts and stuff like that. But again, that's the step we're at right now. It's step 6. Making that offer and just standing by, right? Understanding, hey, this is what it's going to need to do to solve your problems, and then just waiting, right? Checking back in and following up, but not chasing it, okay? What does that mean? Because I just told you to chase it in a sense, right? Oh, it sounds like an idiot. You want to help them. Listen, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I would love to buy your house. I don't need to buy your house. I don't need to buy every house, right? I buy the ones I can. I love that. Thank you, man. The handsome, sweet. You don't have to buy every house, okay? And that's why your offer is always going to be the best offer possible that you can make, and then you're just standing by until they accept it, right? If they go with the higher offer, so be it. They lost out, not you. Now, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, you lost out, but guess what? You get the game of following up. You get the game of asking for their contract. Clackers! You get the joy of asking to see their contract, okay? You get the joy of poking holes in it and seeing if it's a 2-page assignment, if they're going to live up to the promises that they made, okay? All the while keeping your offer the same, right? You've built up enough rapport by then. If they're going to go with somebody else, ask to see that contract. Or if they got a contract beforehand, or if they got a different offer beforehand, ask to see it. Listen, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if that's a better offer than I can make you, I'll tell you 100% to run at it, okay? Because it's going to solve your problems and it's going to get you the most cash in your pocket, okay? And a lot of times they come back and they got $1 for EMD, okay? They got 30-day option periods. They got all these things. They're on a 2-page assignment contract with some asshole's header, right? I buy houses at gmail.com, okay? There's a lot of ways to spot a crook in this industry. So, again, your goal, your job is to protect the seller. That's why they're reaching out to you. That's why they're going to work with you. That comes also with making the best offer. If that offer is in a counteroffer from somebody else, you better get ready to defend them, right? Why should they go with you over them? So, that was a good rant and ramble. I got 36 minutes out of me. So 1 through 6, stepping back out. Maybe I'll turn this into the REIA method. You're going to qualify. All right? You're going to qualify your lead. Then you're going to follow up and set an appointment. That's the same thing right there, right? You're going to set a follow-up and you're going to set an appointment. All right? If you can get belly to belly with that person, you're going to set an appointment. All right? The follow-up is to gather information. Okay? You're then going to comp and analyze, and this is your last chance to get photos or detailed information, okay? Then you're making your offer, and you're contracting it, okay? But you're slow playing the whole thing. I cannot say this strong enough. That can take you 2 hours. That doesn't have to be 3 days. That doesn't have to be 90 days. That doesn't have to be all this, money is in the follow-up. Yes, I totally understand that, and I'm not telling you that you can't have quick contracts. But the likelihood of you getting on that first call is goddamn zero. I'm telling you that right now. The ones that get them under contract aren't closing them. If you want to close them, if you want to learn how to close everything, click the link and join the Discord. Jesus. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to go over anything? That was pretty much my rant and ramble for today. But one thing that I found funny that I definitely want to highlight here. In today's market, folks, this is another part of negotiations, is your dispositions. Okay? I know there's a lot of funny things going out there with the 3% rules and shit, but either way, you have to realize buyer's agent commission matters. You're going to have a correlation between days on market and how much you're trying to save. You're pinching pennies, and it's going to shoot you in the long run. So that was just a comical one we saw today. Tony sent it over. Tomorrow, I have Maria Acosta coming in. We are going to be talking about her whole entire life. I'm really excited for it. She went from $40,000 in debt, paying somebody for some guru course, to now she's crushing it. She got over 40 rentals. She's been in real estate longer than I have. Not longer than Tony, though, so which is fine. I'm really excited for tomorrow's call. If anybody has any questions, anybody needs anything, Discord, that's where you guys are going to find us all. We're in there constantly talking deals. I'm constantly throwing out lists, constantly creating different cold call lists for people, giving them out. If you join the community, if you want to start being join the REIAF Academy, we're actually giving out warm leads for you guys to work and JV on and practice with. So if anybody's interested about that, come and check it out. But this Thursday in our office, can't wait to see everybody. It's going to be a home run event. We're talking underwriting. Doors open at 5:30, and then we usually kick people out by 10, but it all depends on how drunk everybody gets. But this Thursday, August 15th, in our office, doors open 5:30. Shout out to all of our sponsors. If anybody needs anybody, trust me, these people are vetted. They are all professionals, and they're all crushing it in Texas. So, can't wait to see everybody. Keep crushing it. Peace.
Thank you.